Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you like this video, please like and subscribe.
The Ledger and the Lace. In the dimly lit attic of a crumbling manor, 14-year-old Alara didn't play with dolls. Instead, she spent her nights polishing the hilt of a stiletto and organizing jars of belladonna and hemlock. Her long, chocolate brown hair caught the moonlight as she worked. She was undeniably beautiful, but she viewed her beauty only as a tool, a distraction for those too foolish to look closer. She had decided long ago that her heart was a fortress, and no man would ever be granted entry. Alara dreamt of being an assassin, a shadow in the night. However, her body had other plans. When she tried to practice her footwork, she tripped over her own hems. When she swung a broadsword, the weight nearly pulled her shoulders from their sockets. She stared at her reflection in a polished shield, her deep brown eyes brimming with frustration. She had the mind of a predator, but the coordination of a newborn fawn. "If I cannot take what I want by force," Alara whispered to the empty room, "I will buy it." She realized that gold moved faster than a blade and hurt far worse when withdrawn. She traded her poison books for ledgers and her daggers for a high-quality quill. She didn't need a husband to provide a future. She would build an empire and rule it alone. Her goal was clear: independence at any cost. Her resolve was fueled by a memory that tasted like ash. Years ago, she had watched her mother, Mireille, weep as the man she loved walked away with their last bit of inheritance. Mireille had been strong, but she had let her heart be her undoing. Never again, Alara had promised herself that day. She saw the chains of romance for what they were, a trap designed to keep women small. Alara's first business venture was a small stall in the lower district. She sold beauty tonics that were actually clever mixtures of common herbs and a dash of harmless, itchy powder. She targeted the arrogant socialites like Dahlia, who treated the poor like dirt. Alara watched with a hidden smirk as Dahlia bought a bottle, paying 3 times its worth. Manipulation, Alara found, was far more effective than any poison. But the marketplace was a den of wolves. Sterling, a wealthy merchant a few years older than Alara, soon took notice of her success. He was tall, arrogant, and believed that every girl in the city was merely waiting for his attention. He saw Alara as a pretty distraction rather than a legitimate threat to his monopoly on the apothecary trade. Sterling approached Alara's stall one afternoon, leaning over her counter with a smirk that didn't reach his eyes. "A girl like you shouldn't be playing with coins, Alara," he sneered, tossing a heavy velvet pouch onto her ledger. "Buy yourself a silk dress and find a husband. Leave the business to the men." Alara felt a familiar heat rise in her chest, but she didn't reach for a weapon. She reached for a plan. That evening, Alara tracked down Cyrus, a high-ranking city guard known for his strict adherence to the law and his hatred of smugglers. She didn't fight Sterling. She simply informed Cyrus of some irregularities in Sterling's latest shipment of rare spices. She used her charm to play the role of a concerned citizen, her deep brown eyes wide with feigned innocence. The plan worked perfectly. Sterling's warehouse was seized, and his reputation crumbled overnight. Alara sat by her fireplace that night, sipping tea. She felt a twinge of the old trauma, the fear of being powerless, but it was quickly replaced by the thrill of victory. She had won without throwing a single punch or shedding a drop of blood. She was alone, and for the first time, she felt truly safe. By the end of the month, Alara had secured her own office in the Merchants Guild Hall. She stood on her new balcony, looking out over the city she intended to conquer. She was only 14, but she was already a force to be reckoned with. No man would ever own her, and no blade would ever be as sharp as her wit. This was only the beginning of her empire.